Let's start at the beginning. This is the Origin System. This is where everything inside of Warframe takes place. It has been filled with wars, countless conflicts, the rise and fall of empires, and changes in power. But to understand the system, we have to go back to those who brought it where it is today. We have to go back to look at a race of beings known to us as the Orokin. Before the current events of the game, for many years the Origin system was run by this race. They were the most dominant humanoid faction of that time period. This was largely due to their discovery of the Void. The Void being a parallel dimension which, with its discovery, advanced the Orokin's technological development. They evolved very quickly both in social structure and with their technology, meaning space travel, cities, design, and everything else you could imagine changed very quickly over a short period of time. Their entire culture became very focused on beauty and elegance, both in design and way of life. Since discovering the Void, the Orokin continued to advance to the point where their technology and power was far beyond anything else in the Origin system, which led to the Orokin becoming the eventual rulers of the system at the height of their power. Details about the Orokin culture itself are very scarce, but it is evident from their architecture and relics that they were obsessed with splendor, luxury, beauty, and overwhelming excess. They had a love for white, gold, black, and blue in their aesthetics, creating massive structures adorned with countless golden ornaments complemented by long hallways and towering ceilings. Everything they did had an air of brilliance and royalty, from tea sets and clothing to even their most basic infantry rifles. Despite their splendor, however, much of Orokin culture was heavily influenced by ancient cultures, with much emphasis placed on honor, propriety, loyalty to one's superiors, and acceptance of the status quo. The Orokin in particular held 7 virtues to be at the utmost importance, namely speed, power, cunning, agility and endurance, cooperation and stealth, which paints a very good picture of these beings, seeing as how they adored a hierarchy. Orokin society was highly stratified and also highly immoral in my opinion, with only those at the very top being regarded as actual Orokin, because the Orokin at the time constructed a class of genetically engineered slaves to serve their most basic industrial and military needs, while the rest of the empire was made up of less wealthy and advanced populations performing technological and economic services which would eventually congeal into the Corpus, which is another race that currently exists inside of the world of Warframe, but one that I won't go into much detail currently. Now, if we roll back a bit to when the Orokin found the Void, we can talk a little bit about one of the biggest events that has led to the world of Warframe becoming what it is today. I'm referring to the Zariman 10-0 incident. So the Orokin continued experimenting with the Void and ruling the system. They wanted to take their experiments further, so they put into place a plan where a ship named the Zariman, or at least the model of the ship was named the Zariman, was sent directly into the Void, but this time it contained a large group of people accompanied by their families, something that had never been done before. I'm assuming this was done to test and report on what would happen with direct contact of the other dimension, but I'm not too sure exactly what the details are. But the ship became lost in the Void and the Orokin had no way to contact her. In fact, she did not resurface for many years. When she finally did return, a team was dispatched to investigate, most likely thinking they would have never seen the ship again. Upon searching the ghost ship, it was discovered that every adult on board had died due to Void exposure. However, for some strange reason unknown, the children of the Zariman had survived. Although seemingly well in health, the children had been exposed to the Void and in the process had changed. The children had developed uncontrollable Void-related powers that mutilated or killed anyone who came into contact with them. and out of shame and sheer fear of what could happen, the Orokin somehow took the children and hid them away to be forgotten and left for dead. These children from the Zariman ship became known later as the Tenno, named as such because of the Zariman's ship designation of 10-0. 10-0. So this is the start to the lore behind Warframe. There's a lot more to go into detail, but I thought it would be a pretty good place for the first episode and just to test the waters and see what you guys thought. And if you'd like me to continue the series, then please let me know, and since I'm very new to the world of Warframe, I've only played about 100 hours of the game and I've only just scratched the surface, any criticism is very welcome because it's very important to me that I get this right. I want to make sure that everything's correct and at the same time as making this as entertaining as I can for all of you to watch. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Warframe Lore. If you'd like to help support me or buy me a cup of coffee, then by all means check out my Patreon and also the Discord server. As always, thank you for watching, and until the next one, this has been OKGovBear. You go and have a very, very wonderful day.